Hey everyone, and welcome to tonight's HGC Premier Playoffs. This is a decider between Aztech Warriors, Aztech Entertainment, and Quick Match Warriors. Sorry, Winters, welcome. Thank you for joining me on the lovely casting desk tonight. How you going, my friend?
Doing very well, Mr. Blanklots. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be on the Blizzard_ANZ channel, doing our first Premier Division cast, my friends. I'm really excited to be here, as I'm sure you are.
I'm indeed honoured and excited, Blank.
This is, there was no way to distinguish between these two teams. They were even on points, they were even on maps, they were even on wins, losses, everything, all even. So the only fair way to decide this was through the playoffs. So it will be a best of 3 series, Aztec versus Quick Match Warriors. Quick Match Warriors won the coin toss and elected to have first pick, which means Aztec get first map. And what map are we going to, Winters?
We are going to the Cursed Hollow, back to the old school tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, well, let's not keep the fans waiting. Let's jump right into it. Doesn't look like the teams are quite ready yet, Winters, so we'll stall a little bit longer for them. What else have we got going on? What you were able to watch the Intercontinental Clash last weekend, correct?
You bet. And what an amazing, extraordinary performance both Crimson and Mindfreak put on there for us, taking it all the way to that Game 7. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, people, get onto those VODs because they are some top-level gameplay coming out of the ANZ region. We also got to see the Brazilian team of Encore fall in quite short order to the boys from Mindfreak and taking out their first intercontinental title. So really well done there, guys.
Yeah, I was really excited to see Mindfreak dominate so hard against the Brazilian team. I'm a little bit disappointed in Mindfreak. They didn't 4-0 them like I hoped. I had to start for another half hour, Winters. And,
the dream.
Was nearly late for work, but
dream.
Not as bad as poor Skinny and Vandy, who were up from 3 a.m. in Australian time, casting this event from home and casted the entire event, including the whole Crimson versus Mindfreak series, as well as the Brazilian teams playoffs as well after that. So that would have been a long day.
Right. The resilience displayed there by both of those guys, being able to get up at 3 o'clock and cast our boys to victory was nothing short of incredible. So absolute kudos going to them. And ladies and gents, we're going to kick off straight into this first game of the evening. Cursed Hollow, Aztec Entertainment versus Quick Match Warriors. Let's get it on.
Yeah, we have Aztec Entertainment on the blue side, Winters, and Quick Match Warriors on the red. Quick Match getting that first pick and wondering what they're going to use it for, Winters.
Well, I have absolutely no doubts that we're going to see some pretty standard bans coming out of both of these teams. Cursed Hollow does allow for some of that, extraordinary long-range gameplay. So maybe an Abathar, which I'd personally like to see. I think he brings a solo support Abathar. What can I say? Let's see that. No, we should see some Garrosh bans, maybe even a Dibbles ban. So what do you think, Blake?
Well, keep in mind, we are on the live patch. Diablo being the first ban, David, that's what I was about to say, actually. Diablo has been one of the higher banned heroes over the last couple of weeks in high-ranked play. Interesting to see he's getting a bit of a rework, Winters.
That rework is going to be incredible. The cone stomp, the slow, the triple damage on the return fire, it's going to be something else. We see Genji banned out there by Aztec and Instalock Garrosh coming in from QM Warriors. They're blank. Anything surprising you there? No,
you called it straight away. You said Garrosh is going to be the one picked or banned, and there he was. Diablo Genji, obviously, as you said, banned out. Garrosh picked up first by QM Warriors. Over to Aztec.
He's just so powerful. Garrosh is just so powerful in the meta at the moment. The displacement technology employed by any of these heroes, like the Maevs, even Medivh to a lesser extent with his portals, and Garrosh just has the ability to upset any team comp and any sort of variation of that, where if someone oversteps, bang, you're going to pay for that with a Groundbreaker.
100%. You've got, on the side of Aztec, you've got Doubt, who's really strong on that Hanzo. Hanzo being one of those high-picked heroes on this map. The vision that he can give with his Sonic Arrow, there it is. Boom. And Malfurion's a token favorite of Sailor V's as well. So good to see them pick those two up first.
Absolutely. And, we speak of it all the way through the season, Blank, but Malfurion's healing prowess at the moment is rivaled only really by that Stukov. Maybe secondarily coming up with the Uther Rhaegar and Karazim for the cleansers. But for sheer pound-for-pound healing, Malf and Stukov just own it. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not QM want to pick up a healer coming into this second phase of the pick ban phase. Picking up the Garrosh first is a solid move because that allows them now to start focusing down onto their assassins. So interesting drafting strategies coming out for both teams, Blank.
Yeah, well, you would have thought maybe a tank pickup, but they prioritize that Hanzo, which is good. They prioritize the healer, which is good. Leaving Stukov available, as you mentioned, for the side of QM Warriors. I do think that they will pick up a support in this rotation, only because if they don't, the support that they want to pick up could potentially get banned out over the next phase.
Yeah, and that's something that QM's really going to have to think about with this drafting strategy, Blank, is whether or not, okay, they pick up the Stukov. The only thing I was going to say there was whether or not it was going to be a burst healer. But Stukov has that, the wonderful capacity to drop hots on people with his, dirty little biotic healing spores, and then can pop that bio kill switch to really drop a massive heal. So good pickups. And that Maiev. So QM Warriors are looking to really devastate the enemy lineup. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, Maev's a really good play. A Warden's Cage into Stukov's Lurking Arm could be devastating for the side of Aztec. What I was going to say before was we are playing on the live patch, which means the nerfs to the healers and the changes that were made to the healers in the last patch last week are all live right now. So these guys are playing with those. So the idea of that was potentially to see Malfurion and Stukov take a back seat and some of the other healers to step up a little bit. But obviously, they are sticking to what they know. They're sticking to what they've been playing with, and that's completely fine too.
Yeah, so the nerfs to Malfurion are the burst heals that he gets off the Moonfire when he hits enemy heroes. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he can keep up those heals. But I mean, I've been playing with him over the last week, and he certainly still feels just as clean a healer as he was. Stukov's nerf to the cooldown on his Lurking Arm. Now that's a little bit more difficult to chew on. That's an extra 5 seconds that you're dealing with, and if you misplace that Lurking Arm, you're going to be punished by a long cooldown on that one, Blake.
Yes, you are. Ming, we see getting banned out by Aztec, wanting to take away one of those burst DPS from the side of QM Warriors. I think they need another frontliner though, QM. So it is a good ban. Was expecting maybe a mage ban, like a KT or a Kel'Thuzad, potentially Kel'Thas as well. Gul'dan's got some value on this map. Anything that can poke. I mean, Chromie. Why was I lost for Chromie?
Well, Chromie would be a good ban, but I think we're missing one of the biggest aspects of this map here, Blank, and Cursed Hollow being so big. We're looking at global pressure.
Yes.
Yeah. So are we going to see a Dahaka or a Falstead come in, or a Brightwing? Well, no Brightwing supports it.
Double support meta, let's bring it back.
Double support meta, no, that can go away into relegation, thank you.
Well, there has been talk about the double support meta, Winters. What's going to happen now with the secondary or off-meta supports like Tassadar, Tyrande, who haven't got as much play now that double support meta's gone out, but they're still there. What are they going to happen? What's going to happen to them?
Mate, no doubt we're going to see Blizzard take a secondary look at those guys that are, the shielding healers versus the straight up burst heals. So they're either going to have to do something to look at buffing those guys, bringing Tassadar and Tyrande back into their days of glory. Tyrande sits there and she's great for a sniper. It's good if you can hit an hour long range. Oh,
there's your Abathur.
Yeah, buddy, that is amazing. So there's our global pressure. So we're going to have to see a very solid melee hero coming out, most likely a Greymane for Aztec after this pick, or even the dreaded Illidan.
Well, if they pick another melee, then they've got Maiev, they've got Stukov, and they've got Garrosh, who are all melee heroes at the moment. So it's would be a bit scary going for melee, but they do need another frontline, I believe. Maybe, like you said, a global such as the Dahaka could work, and that would help counter that Abathur push, the split push, and also give them a little bit more lockdown in those team fights.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we've already got the Warden's Cage and the Lurking Arm and the Groundbreaker and all the devastation that those three heroes bring. Now they just need something to seal off the deal for Quick Match Warriors. What would probably work out really well for them is potentially a Sonya to bring in some pain with that dirty old spear that she carries and whirlwind her way through that little mosh pit of deliciousness that Maev's going to set up. However, they don't have a solo laner at the moment. So probably there's the Greymane and there's the solo laner. Very good.
There you go. There's the Greymane, as you called it. And Leoric, a good pickup with the possibility of Aztec picking up a secondary frontliner like that Sonya you were just talking about. I don't know what else they could use to round this out. It's a very nice team comp as it is.
Oh,
And they've gone with a Samurai.
A surprise Samurai appears. No, I wasn't expecting that. So that is going to play very interestingly into the hands of Quick Match Warriors. Azog going to represent the Samurai. So very, very interesting.
Yeah, over the last week of the HGC Phase 1 season, Winters, we had the team of Aztec switch up their roles. So Sailor, who's normally on support, was playing a tank, and Doubt, who's normally on assassin, was playing support, and they just decided to play around with their roles. I don't know whether that was strategic or they were just mucking around, or whether they were actually practicing different roles just for the sake of it. But I liked that about them. They can play, and they won that series too.
They did indeed. And, maybe that's what they're trying to forge forward to doing. We see it quite a bit in the Korean HGC teams, they're blank, and they'll quite often swap up their roles. You've seen it quite a lot with a lot of those teams in the Asian region. So maybe that's a cheeky little strat that the guys from ANZ are trying to pick up on. But enough of that for now, ladies and gents. Let's get underway with game number 1 of tonight's festivities, with Aztec rocking on the blue side. We got Doubt on the Hanzo, Domi playing our favorite worm, Azog on that Samuro, Sailor V on Malfurion, and Lucka on the Mirrodin.
And on the right-hand side, the red side of the map, as you will, we have Tommy on the Maev, Leica playing Garrosh, Mad Hacks on Greymane, Sarah Lee on Leoric, and Ivelu on Stukov.
We're going to go for the 5v5 ARAM at mid, ladies and gents. I think we might be seeing that. Oh, well, it's not going to be 5v5 with Abathar.
5v4 and Worm?
5v4 and a hat.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. We can see Maev's positioning there a little bit out of the ordinary. Not quite where you'd expect her to be.
Tommy wants a pick straight over that wall, but not going to happen with Greymane peeling off down to the bottom there to go and start soloing his way to victory. And Samuro taking on the Leoric up top with Abathar, double soaking.
Yeah, the rotations are going to be interesting with this one. To see, it is a big map. So to see how the team of Aztec work their rotations while they've got Abathar, work out when they're going to start picking up camps. I mean, Samuro is obviously the choice to pick up camps for them, Greymane for the team of Quick Match Warriors. And keep in mind, guys, this is a best of 3 series. So this is game 1 of that best of 3. And it looks like the first tribute, or the curse, is going to spawn in that top part of the map, Winters.
It is indeed. So it's going to be on Quick Match Warriors' side of the map for the first contested curse. But look, I think Samuro is going to be applying himself a lot of pressure here. Since they made the change where you can just change places with one of his clones as a passive, it's brought so much more devastation to Samuro's playstyle. So very interesting to see what he and Abathar together can bring to this little fracas.
Yeah, you can see both teams working on camps. Greymane just picked off that Siege Giants, and you got Azog with that Samuro working on these these Knights. Interesting choice of camps. I suppose this one's going to be better suited for the side of Aztec, pushing down that middle lane, whereas where the objective's spawning in that top lane, the Siege Giants on Aztec side aren't going to get as much value.
No, they're not. But we've got Sarah Lee and Garrosh up the top there, taking out one of those towers straight away and breaking through. So a little bit of an XP lead coming off Quick Match Warriors early on with that cheeky little push, whilst Malf and Samuro were downstairs getting the heavy camp.
Yeah, they did need to send 2 there, just probably to get it done a little bit quicker. I mean, liking the matchup between the Maev and the Hanzo in the bottom lane. I don't know who could actually win that one. Maev with her little vault to get out of damage.
Well, if personal experience is anything to go by, blank, Maev wins it every time. Just quietly. So Quick Match Warriors absolutely smashed the Night Camp out of that mid lane very, very quickly there, and now allowing themselves the opportunity to go up and take this curse.
Yeah, well, they actually picked up the Night Camp themselves on their side, so that's going to be able to push through, and Aztec going to have to clean that up before engage on this objective. It'll be interesting to see whether they choose to contest it, poke it, or just let it go completely. Yeah,
Alonso's only now making his way up. Tommy's going in for a little bit of damage here, trying to poke onto Sailor, but just ultimately getting some stacks of damage up there.
Yeah, it looks like Aztec are giving this one, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that one at all. Until they hit level 10 and can get that clone or monstrosity from Abathar, once Abathar scales a little bit better, then they can't really start any team fights.
Oh, we got Lucka thrown out of position there, but it is a Mirrodin, so he can dwarf toss to safety there in the mid lane. Nothing special occurring there, just a cheeky little bit of damage coming out from Garrosh. So it's interesting to see that Quick Match Warriors have actually got themselves an XP lead over the global because of Samaros leaving the lane and Malfurion also leaving that lane to get the night camp earlier, and it taking them a little bit longer than usual to get. So level 7 hit now and talent advantage going over to Quick Match Warriors.
Yeah, not to mention that they didn't even try to poke that objective. Normally on this map, you'll see the team that's not going to be taking it. They're just going to poke it to stall the enemy team from capping it as long as possible so that Abathur can get that soak.
Oh, Malfurion's in a spot of trouble here with... Oh, no, that tether just managed to get him out. Tommy, very aggressive onto the Malfurion there in the mid lane. Sailor nearly caught with his pants down. Azog trying to cause a little bit of disruption here with his clones, but he's going to get found out. And we got the Lurking Arm coming out. Unstoppable coming out from Leoric. Not going to catch him. Azog almost going down to the Stukov. Takes first blood out. Well played frontline healer.
Yeah, well, Tommy got a little bit low there as well, and unfortunately, Samuro was out of position. He did try to use that passive to switch clones, and it juked a couple of them. But no, Stukov was very wise to his ways and managed to pick him off at the end there.
Very lucky. And, well, very unlucky for Samuro. So, 2 curses going over to the side of Quick Match Warriors, uncontested, except for that poor Samuro getting squashed. Poor Orcs. Now, we see Aztec making a little bit of a boss play, and they're going to boss play. So now they've got level 7. We can see Doubt has gone into the full W build for the Hanzo. So they're going to chew through this boss quite quickly, and hopefully this is going to allow them the opportunity to stop this third curse coming through.
Yeah, Tommy seems to have spotted them, and his the whole team's coming down Mirrodin, stalling as best as possible, but no, they managed to pick up the boss. Tommy might even die for this one. Tommy's gone, Winters. Tommy is gone.
Gets blown up. Tries to get the triple umbral bind and back out, but does not have any luck with that and gets squished like a jackal in a sandwich toaster. We see Doubt taking a boatload of damage, trying to flip his way out. Lucka gets controlled and taken out by Garrosh once again. Mad Hacks all over Sailor there on the Malfurion. Greymane's going to peel back off to take this curse. We're going to get curse point. And Aztec in a little bit of trouble early on here.
Yeah, they got the boss, but they might lose the curse, and there's no real way for that to be interrupted now, which, as you see, curse point gone over as kicking off Greymane just there. Oh, Abathur, really?
Yeah, well, with the Abbey, the hat on there, he just blew up the Greymane, and that was beautiful there. I value now in a lot of trouble. Stukov gonna go down. Azog gets a double kill, and he's gonna get away from here, I think. Can Tommy catch him? I think Azog's in a little bit of trouble. Oh, the stealth!
He's not getting out.
Nah, he's not out. That was so close. He looked like he was going to try and clone over that wall and hop, but ultimately the Samurai Master goes down.
I think that was an even trade for both teams. I mean, Aztec got the boss. Quick Match Warriors got the curse, but because of the team fight, they weren't really able to push with it. So Abathur's been able to keep those buildings alive with his mule. They're fighting over in the middle at the moment, so they might manage to get a fort out of this, and top lane's just lost the fort as well, but not as much value as they would have had if they weren't chasing Azog.
Yeah, well, fortunately, that boss also gave them a little bit of saviour here. Oh, look out, here comes the Warden's Cage. Wow, Malfurion gets absolutely blown up there. Leica on the Garrosh, trying his best to help his mates get out of trouble. Azog gets away with a breath of health. Lucka Dog is going to get blown up. The Avatar's not going to be enough to save the Mirrodin. Farewell, Aztec. That's a 2-for-1 trade there.
Yeah, they did get the kill on the Garrosh, which is impressive on itself because he does have that massive armor. But he did end up falling. They all picked up 10s. That Warden's Cage, we talked about this at the start, Winters, during the draft. That Warden's Cage, Lurking Arm combo, coupled up with the Entomb.
Yeah, that was a smart play there. The Entomb really providing everyone from the side of Aztec the unfortunate opportunity of being bounced back into the Entomb. So can you imagine that at level 20 with the silence? Ooh.
Oh, that's going to be disgusting if it gets that late. It's a tough one to call because both teams scale pretty well. I think that Aztec might actually have it in the late game. But they need to hold their cool, keep up the XP. I mean, they're even on XP right now. It's pretty much neck and neck. And on kills, Structures is the only place where they're behind at the moment.
Yeah, well, QM's smart tactics here, going and taking that boss in the top lane and then going and get the other camps. Very interesting play. So now the boss, if not taken out by Aztec very quickly, is going to open up this keep wall in the top lane. And you don't want that when that's on your boss side.
No, well, the good thing is that Abba has got Mule. So as long as they can keep the keep alive, it can be healed up.
Oh, we've got Iveliu caught out again in the mid lane there by the Samuro and the Muradin, taking out the healer. Stukov's not going to be back for 30 seconds, so hopefully, well, not hopefully, this curse looks like it's going over to Aztec.
It was a great time to pick off their support. They are now a man down, essentially. All of the heroics are up on the side of Aztec, and well, the only heroic that's down on quick match is Stukov's, which is dead anyway.
Yeah, he tried to use the flailing swipe to get out, and no such luckaroni. So we're going to have this curse picked up there by the Hanzo. Not going to be able to be contested here by the Garrosh or by the Maiev. They're just going to run away and try and clear this mid lane, and look where they can apply pressure with Stukov coming back in. Umbral Bind. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good, you're good. Umbral Blind on the clone there.
On the clones, yeah.
Well, if she's gone the stacks, which she hasn't gone the Umbral Blind stacks on this one.
Oh, Lucka gets thrown back in. Massive arrow coming up from Hanzo. We've got the Warden's Cage trapping in 3 members, but no good. Maiev gets blown up. Leoric now going to run with his tail. He ghost between his legs. Lucka and Domi now trying to chase down this Garrosh and Leoric. Not going to happen. They get the stun onto Leo. Can Sarah Lee get out alive? The clone, the Abby clone gets thrown backwards. Azog trying his little Samuro heart out to get some more damage on, but it's not going to happen. A 1-for-0 trade in favor of Aztec. This 13 talent tier looks like it could be changing things up.
Yeah, as the talents progress, we're having a look. Hanzo's W quest at level 1 has been fulfilled. Garrosh is on 13 of his Warbreaker stacks. He needs 2 more to complete that one. And we see Greyman's gone for his Wise and Duelist quest, so he's at 10 out of 30 stacks for that one there.
Yeah, well, that's going to add up to an extra 10% hero damage against heroes when he's in Worgen form. Now, we've got some posturing around this bottom boss. Quick Match Warriors know that this is the next logical play for Aztec to take, but they're not going to have anything of it, and they're going to start pushing this bot lane with ferocity, Blake.
Yeah, they're going all in. They can see Samuro in the middle there. They know that it's a 5v3 fight, essentially, right now. Hanzo has peeled off to grab that top siege giant, so that should slow them down at least. But this actually taking that fort gives QM the potential of taking this boss right now.
Yep. So QM posturing once again around the boss. Are they going to start it? Doesn't look like they've got the confidence to do that. And look at Abatha running around the middle of the map up there in the top lane. That's cheeky.
Well, what if you want to be able to Z out? You don't want to waste that Z getting somewhere and then get caught and have to die.
Very true. Nothing worse than having Deep Tunnel on cooldown and really needing to use it when you've got a Stukov or a Garrosh bearing down on you. So
the positioning on this Curse Winters is very favourable to QM Warriors. I don't see Aztec even trying to contest this one. I think they're just going to give it free of charge, not even poking, but going to keep an eye on that boss because I think that's what they're worried Quick Match are going to do.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's contestable on the map at the moment, except for the night camp that just respawned on the side of QM Warriors. And we've got an engage, the taunt, the arrow comes in, back for Aztec. We've got Leica, he is stunned. Garrosh is taking all the damage right now. Muradin doing what Muradin does best. He gets away with the Dwarf Toss. Garrosh, 400 HP. He gets the heal. Domi clone jumping around the map. We get Maiev taken out finally after the Warden Cage roly-poly gets taken care of. Madhax tries to get away on the Greymane. Doubt finishes him off with an arrow up the rear. Iveliu trying desperately to heal up the rest of his tanks and front line, but not going to happen. Leica is in a world of trouble here with Azog putting the pressure on the Samuro. Bye-bye, sir. Back to the scrapyard for you, Junkie Garrosh.
That was a really well-played team fight by Aztec. They looked to be in the disadvantage when they got picked up by the Maiev Umbral Binds there. But they used the boss, which unintentionally got damaged and aggroed in that team fight to their advantage, with a couple of the members of Quick Match Warriors getting caught in the boss's roots and taking some damage from that, as well as did you see the little slam Sailor was caught in the entomb right on the edge of the slam. He managed to position himself just at the corners, just out of range of that stun.
That's what we love to see out of our Premier Division teams there, Blank, is the tiny little bits and pieces that separate them from the rest of us regular Quick Match and Hero League cronies. But we're going to see Aztec getting the curse and now taking out the boss in the top lane. So they're going to have a very heavy push in this top lane. Samuro pressuring the middle there, keeping everyone busy with his clones, and Abathur doing Abathur things down in the bot lane.
Yeah, boss to boss. That's an interesting play. Well, not overly interesting. It's something that we see a lot on this map. Pick up the boss at the bottom lane, go straight for the top lane boss. With the curse, it allows the boss to push free of charge without having any towers doing damage to it, so it doesn't need to be pushed with as much.
We got another engage here coming on the top lane. We got Garrosh trying to groundbreaker and throw people around, but not going to occur here because he only keeps on hitting Mirrodin, and Mirrodin's just going to dwarf toss right back out of there. This boss is still very healthy. That keep is now taking damage, and they're going to have a hard time defending this keep against the entire team. Bottom boss is still doing its work on that bottom lane as well. Don't forget that. Mirrodin, the Mirrodin clone with Domi taking a fair amount of damage there. Here comes the Umbral Bind. We're going to see a Warden's Cage. We've got the Silencing Pool coming out from Stukov. Azog, with barely a hint of life left, manages to get away. Thank you very much, healing Abathur Shield. We love those healing microbes.
Yeah, very well played on both sides. Great defense on the side of Quick Match Warriors. Great push on the side of Aztec. That play from boss to boss, almost getting that top keep. They didn't quite get it. It still has 1,900 hit points, Winters. The boss in the bottom lane was cleaned up by that keep though, so that one stands as well. No keeps taken with this double boss push.
Well, that's the dream, isn't it? The Aztec boys had the dream. They had the curse and two bosses running down the lane. And QM Warriors successfully defended those keeps. So interesting to see whether or not they can turn this game around, because Quick Match Warriors are now 3 levels down and on the back foot.
Winters, look at this invade coming.
Yeah, they're going to get away with without a second to think about it. That could have been devastating. What Quick Match Warriors really need to do is get themselves a pick on the back line. But, without that Maiev being able to get into that back line, they're not really standing a chance of blowing anyone up. So we're seeing some really good positioning coming out of the Aztec side, Blank, and it's lovely to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate for QM Warriors. Hey, that keeps gone. Samuro, Tommy, not Tommy. He gets picked off by Azog in the top lane there. Winters, what's going on here? Keeps getting pushed
Samuro doing Samuro things. He needs to get his butt back into this mid keep because QM have a very hard push with this heavy Merc camp coming in. They're going to take out that well. Oh, Garrosh pops that Indomitable, but does not get anywhere with it. Aiming for the Malfurion. Malf gets thrown in and taunted. We see the disengage there from Stukov. Warden's Cage goes down. Unfortunately, not trapping anybody, but Stukov gets picked instead. 4-man Umbral Bind there from Tommy on the Maya. Domi clone, causing all sorts of havoc with those hammers and stuns. Mad Hacks on the Greymane. He's going to get popped in a second. Or is he? Is he going to get away? No, Anzo finishes him off. And now we've got Leoric taking a world of pain there from the scatter arrows. Sarah Lee's going to get popped as well. Greymane goes down. Maiev goes down. That is a 3-0 trade. Aztec leading the way. 20 on this. Well played, Aztec.
That's a clean sweep right there. That is 5-0 for the side of Aztec, and they could look to end right here. Their core on the side of Quick Match Warriors is taking damage, and it's got Giants pumping into it right now.
Yeah, so Azog's coming down. He wants to start cracking away at the damage here. We've still got 20 seconds left or 30 seconds left. This is going to be game number 1. Going over to Aztec. I don't think QM's going to be able to do much here, mate.
Nope, that's it. That's game over. This is all she wrote. Aztec taking game number 1, Winters, in this best of 3 series between Quick Match Warriors and Aztec for 5th and 6th position.
So those Abathur comps can really work wonders, especially when you've got something like a Mirrodin to clone. Having 2 Mirrodins jumping around, dwarf tossing, slowing, thunderclapping, and storm bolting people right in the face, and you're getting 3 seconds worth of stun after a double storm bolt. That's just ridiculous, and it hurts. So well played there by Aztec. Solid drafting. So we're just going to work into the lobby of game 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. very interesting that Quick Match Warriors, were leading the way through the first half of that game, and it was looking kind of dark and grim for Aztec there, Blank.
Yeah, you're very right. And I was just saying before I unmuted my mic, who would you give MVP to if MVP was something you'd be choosing? Just looking at the stats here, and a lot of damage came out from Doubt on that Hanzo. But Azog getting that top keep and just did a lot of work. I'm not too sure here.
I'm going to have to pin that medal onto the Azog for the Samurai play because, even though he got caught once towards that third curse point earlier on in the game, he escaped death a lot. And I'm pretty sure that if we got to see the cards of, the MVP and the upvotes, he would have had escape death like 8 times. So well played there, Samurai.
Yeah, well, that was all very well thanks to Domi on that Abatha as well. Those Abatha hats did some work. They kept him alive long enough, and they did a lot of damage as well. We're looking into our next game now, Winters, just doing the map pick ban deciding phase sort of thing. So Quick Match Warriors deciding they were the losers of that one, which is going to be their choice, first pick or map pick.
I'd be interested to see them pick into Volskaya. I know they've had a little bit of success over the season with Volskaya and can be a little bit of a longer map as well. So potentially they could pick into the long game here. So interesting to see what comes out. Pretty much going to call Infernal Shrines, though, because that's the ANZ staple.
Yeah, well, Infernal Shrines is one of those good, strong maps. It's a fan favourite. Same with Tomb of the Spider Queen. Unfortunately, Tomb's been banned, so that's not going to be available for this series. I'm interested to see some Phoenix play and potentially some Deckard Cain play, both being available.
I love seeing Deckard in Hero League, or I just love the hero. I think he's great. He might feel a little underwhelming in certain situations, but the amount of healing that he can pump out is phenomenal. You take I'm not sure what the talent's called, but the one where, you get his seal and you hit heroes and it pops out all the little healing potions. That's incredible,
very cool.
The amount of healing that can dump out.
Yeah, I've been a fan of the talent where his healing potions give you shields. Have you seen any of the HOTS WTF moments?
Oh, yeah.
There's one where he's on Dragonshy. He's sitting up in that top thing. He's dropped his little 5 potions because he's a setup healer, right? And they've got shields on him. So he's just sitting there 1v2ing and surviving because his potions keep on healing and shielding him, and they don't heal him again until his shields go down. So
yep.
He seems like an OP hero. I'm just not too sure which of those ults I like better. Is it the Stay a While and Listen, or is it their Lornado?
I think I've seen Stay a While and Listen the most, but I've seen some really interesting play with Lornado, with Deckard himself walking through the Lornado and, pushing everyone away so he can't get taken out if he's out of position. Really, really interesting gameplay and mechanics coming out from Deckard. So I'd love to see one picked up tonight. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, QM Warriors taking their time on their decision, as they normally do when I'm asking them to give me an answer.